Hear weather twice an hour or online anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com. Currently, it's 76.
Hi, I'm Dave Jackson, owner of your Clinton Save-A-Lot store in downtown Clinton, here to talk to you about our great produce department. We take great pride in being recognized by more and more customers as the place to go for the absolute freshest produce in Central Illinois. Our 7 produce professionals are very picky and won't put it out for sale if they wouldn't buy it themselves. Huge savings and the freshest produce are waiting for you at your Clinton Save-A-Lot. Hope to see you soon.
Join local farm broadcaster Jared White and Randall J. Miller for WHOW coverage from the Farm Progress Show in Decatur. Hear over 30 hours of live coverage on all the WHOW platforms, starting with an extended New Farm Show during Media Day, August 23rd, as well as extended New Farm Shows August 25th and 29th. Live coverage from the Half Century of Progress Show in Rantoul, August 26th, and extensive coverage from Progress City, the 3 days of the show, August 29th, 30th, and 31st. All brought to you by our title sponsors, Farm Credit Illinois, helping farm families succeed. Brock Grain Systems. Come see the Brock Grain exhibit while you're at the Farm Progress Show. And Navigator CO2's Heartland Greenway Project, moving the Midwest forward, pioneering a path to carbon net neutral economy. Coverage is also sponsored by NC Metal, your metal roofing and pole barn source in Mount Zion. AAK Mechanical, your mobile in-the-field welding experts in Clinton. Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters. Peterson Insurance, your independent insurance agent in Clinton. The Macon County Farm Bureau, where membership means value. And Morgan Distributing in Decatur, your farm fuel specialists.
Scott Baum here from Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton. Search our big selection of pre-owned cars and trucks by clicking our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Dr. Bradley Grant here from Midstate Eye in Clinton. If your little one is entering kindergarten or new to your school district, make an eye exam appointment now so you'll be ready for school. Find out more by clicking on our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Your friend in Central Illinois. WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest in this segment of the morning show, Curt Homann, is the executive director of the Warner Hospital Foundation, putting on a new hat this morning. Curt, welcome. How are you?
I'm wonderful and not too warm yet.
I know it. Oh my gosh! I walked out of the volleyball game I was at last night, and just the humidity was oppressive. And it wasn't even the hottest day of the week yet.
No, that's still to come, I believe.
I think I saw overnight lows like 80 degrees one night this week.
Isn't that crazy?
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that in forever.
So I know we're on the radio, but I have my Warner Hospital Foundation golf shirt on today, which is a nice, comfortable, appropriate thing to wear.
Oh man, you gotta wear loose clothing.
Obviously, we're going to talk about golf outing too,
for
but
sure,
no doubt.
Yeah, and so anyways, let's talk about golf outing. It comes up September 5th.
September 8th.
September 8th. So we're not in the footprint of this heat wave.
Not at all.
Hopefully by then we're cooled off and it's a nice day.
Yeah, so early September is to me is an ideal time for golf.
Mm-hmm.
It can still be warm, but it's not typically oppressive.
Right.
It can be on the cooler side, but not real cold for sure. So
I think September 8th, that's going to be week 3 of the high school football season. And typically by week 3, the nights are nice. You might be a touch warm, but they're not, like this Friday, it's going to be like 95 at kickoff.
Right.
So I mean, and week 1's always that way. So
I don't offer very many guarantees, but I can tell you it will not be 100 degrees on September 8th.
Well, Curt, now just be careful there. All right. I mean, Mother Nature does not like being challenged. Okay. So let's keep that in mind. But all that said, September 8th, how is the golf outing planning going?
So far, so good. It comes together. It seems to always come together right at the end, and this year's no exception. But it's coming well. We've got some sponsors lined up. We've got some teams lined up, and should be a fun day.
When's the last day to register for this?
So we actually ask people to contact us by September 1st. If it's a team, typically we can get you in after that. I mean, if it's a last minute thing, but it would be nice to know if you're considering it maybe ahead of time, but September 1st is a deadline.
Sure. So tell us about the golf outing this year. When, obviously we know when, where is it? What are we doing?
So Clinton Country Club, lunch 11:30 to 12:30, shotgun start at 12:30. So we actually limit. I know some people don't like at other golf outings they've been to, there's 2 or 3 teams per hole. We limit our number of teams, so we do ask that people register early. We do try to save a slot or two for a last minute sponsor, especially. But one of the nice things about it is you're going to be able to continuously play golf. So I want to let people know that, because that's
you're not going to be held up by the group in front of you.
You're not going to be held up. And if you are, it'll be very, very minimal.
Sure. Very good. So with that said, Curt, of course, the golf outing comes up September 8th. So you mentioned you have some spots available still?
We do have some spots available,
Okay.
yes. And I would say reach out sooner than later.
What's the cost on this?
Sure. So the it's $90 a person, or $350 for a foursome. However, if you use your own carts, you can subtract $15 a person.
Okay.
From that.
So potentially save $60.
So you could potentially save $60 with 2 carts that you bring. Yes.
Okay.
So
good.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, very good. So sign up by September the 1st, of course. And so the golf outing comes around. What do we have? Whether games, giveaways, prizes? What do we know about that?
So we always do a 50-50, and that's always fun. We have a giveaway basket that we'll do a raffle for as well. There's some games on the course, and those are still a little bit decided. We kind of try to change them up. We'll probably do a closest to the pin, which is a really common one. Sometimes it could be we're not going to do a hole-in-one shot this year. The insurance cost on that is not cost prohibitive, but it does take money away from the foundation. And but we'll do some games out there. First National Bank and Trust is always helpful with employees that they send out to help with our outing. And I wanted to, before I forget, I wanted to thank them again for this upcoming year for their help as well.
Sure. So. Very good. So a lot of things happening with the golf outing. Again, that is September the 8th. And now, is this what, the second, third year?
This is the second year.
Second year. Okay. Sure.
Yeah. And from the foundation perspective, we understand that there's several golf outings here in Clinton. We do understand that we don't want to take anything away from those outings. But it last year was a good event. I had people ask about it again for this year, so we'll continue it until people don't want to do it anymore, for sure.
Yeah.
But we've also tried to add some different types of fundraising activities and events. So Globe Bingo, as an example, that's already planned for next year as well.
Sure.
So.
Now, when it comes to the golf outing, Curt, you're talking about getting groups involved in those sorts of things. Are there groups or businesses you target that would maybe benefit from what the hospital has to offer? They see the importance of the hospital, whether it's in their line of work or just, the nature of how the hospital has helped a person within that business. How about some of those things?
Sure. So, a lot of times, I don't pinpoint it that much per se, I guess, but, most businesses understand the impact of a hospital or a larger employer, a draw to the community. So other businesses, just because they're in the area, are good supporters of the hospital. Sure. And maybe not even from a perspective that they use the services, but they're glad that it's here and other people use the services, or that they can use the services, or they do use the services, certainly. But it's really, most people just appreciate the fact that there is a hospital here in Clinton. It's a great asset to the community, and they want to keep it strong and growing.
Sure. Very good. So again, that is Curt Homann. He's the executive director of the Warner Hospital Foundation, talking their annual golf outing comes up September the 8th. It's the second time around for this, Curt. And how did last year go in terms of financial benefits? Do you earmark dollars from last year's event or this year's event for something specific? How about that?
We've not earmarked them specifically. It's just sort of a general fundraiser, but I can tell you that we provide scholarships. We've provided exam tables as well. So those are two of the areas that money was spent on this year from last year's golf outing. We did have we had an ex-Illini football player that came. State Representative Dan Calkins was here. I think Sally Turner may have popped in for a bit. The city administrator at that time popped over for lunch as well, and so it's a fun meeting time, a great way to commingle with other folks and have a good time on the golf course as well. So we do expect, I expect the Ex-Illini player Cam Pepper. He likely will be here again. I've reached out to him. He hasn't 100% confirmed, but he's 90% confirmed on that.
Okay.
And so we'll have some fun people to socialize with as well.
Very good. So put that on the radar. Where do folks go to register for this, Curt? How do they do that?
So you can go to the Warner Hospital Foundation Facebook page, and there's some information on there.
Okay.
It does actually have a call button. That call button goes directly to me, and I can get that information together. If they would like more detailed information, my sign-up sheet is there on that form, or on that on the website. Excuse me, on the Facebook page.
Sure.
And but if they want more information, just reach out via phone or message me on the Facebook account.
All right, easy enough. So put this all on the radar. Again, the when and where, and just any information we need to know, Curt.
Yeah, Friday, September 8th, lunch 11:30. Lunch is included in the registration. Shotguns start at 12:30 at the Clinton Country Club right here in Clinton.
Easy enough. So put it all on the radar. Facebook page, best way to keep up with all things foundation.
It absolutely is.
Very good.
Sure.
Well, let's take a time out, Curt. We'll come back, talk some more about the foundation,
Sounds
what you've
good.
been doing lately. Again, Curt Homann, Executive Director of the Warner Hospital Foundation, our guest in studio. More to come with Curt on the WHOW Morning Show.
WHOW.
MR Systems Wireless is your local internet provider for Clinton and surrounding area. They have the products you want and the local service you deserve. MR Systems Wireless Internet service for home or business includes unlimited data, unlimited streaming, and unlimited calling. Plans start at just $48 a month. And get a free Roku 4 lease with our media packages. Get the speed you need with MR Systems Wireless. Call them at 935-2100. That's 935-2100 for MR Systems Wireless.
Let's swing open the farm gate together every day on WHOW. I'm Stu Ellis, your host of the long-running agriculture feature called The Farm Gate. I bring the latest news and information on where agriculture is and where it's going to WHOW Ag listeners several times a day. From tariffs to treaties, from the Board of Trade to the running board on your truck, I cover Central Illinois agriculture every day on The Farm Gate. Hear it all on WHOW's many platforms, on the radio or online. Join me, Stu Ellis, for The Farm Gate.
4-H means a year of fun and work, culminated with displaying their exhibits and animals at this year's fairs. First State Bank's Hayworth branch, located at 117 East Main, wants to thank the area 4-Hers for bringing their exhibits and activities to be judged in this year's fairs. You've made all of us in the Central Illinois area proud of your accomplishments. A tip of the hat to our 4-Hers from the management and staff at First State Bank of Bloomington's Hayworth branch, member FDIC.
Your donations to Love It Once More Thrift Store in Clinton stay local to help local. This is Connie. Donate now and you'll receive a card good for 10% off your next purchase. So bring us a donation and help us help others. Look for us on Facebook, Instagram, or DeWittDailyNews.com.
This is Ryan Utterback with Utterback Real Estate. Selling your house on your own can be overwhelming.
Pricing, phone calls, showings, liability. Did I mention the paperwork and baking all those cookies for open houses?
And that's why you're the other Ryan.
For stress-free selling, click the Utterback Real Estate icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence, and the WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin insurance agent in Clinton. Curt Homann is the executive director of the Warner Hospital Foundation, our guest in studio for today. And Curt, we spent the first segment talking about the Hospital Foundation golf outing, September the 8th. Cutoff to sign up is September the 1st. But as we talk about fundraising for the foundation, let's first of all dive into what other things are you doing? I know you introduced Glow Bingo. That sounded like a smashing success. What else have you been doing?
We did actually. So we're already planning for March for next year for our third Glow Bingo event. And, the first one was in Lincoln due to conflicts scheduling a location here. Last year we were able to have it here locally, and that'll be the case again next year. And people really enjoy that event, and I do myself. It's a lot of fun.
Sounds like
sure.
a lot of fun. Yeah, definitely. What else are you doing?
We have a promotion coming up with the movie theater here at the end of the year. We're gonna have a private showing for folks that want to help the foundation with a small donation. They'll get to see a movie. We'll do some giveaways and prizes and have a little fundraiser there for us. We'll make a little bit of money on it and support the movie theater and a way for people to support the hospital in a different way as well. We do have our end of the year fundraising letter campaign that'll come up probably around November.
Okay.
And then we're rolling in. I mean, we're back into it with Glow Bingo and those other events again. So
yeah,
for
definitely.
sure.
Very good. It's all cyclical then. Kind of get into a nice routine.
It is. And it's good to have these events. The first year is always the most challenging from that perspective because you have to sort of get everything in place. But they do get easier from a planning perspective. And so it's good to have a little bit of experience under the belt with some of these events for sure.
Definitely. Do you feel like you're building momentum? I mean, folks, I feel like folks have always known about the foundation, but do you feel like you're building momentum in awareness and then fundraising and all of that?
I think so. I mean, part of my job, of course, is to keep the hospital in people's thoughts. So when it is time to make some donations or they do their planned giving, that the hospital is a part of that. It is such an important asset to the Clinton community, but the surrounding community as well.
Sure.
That it is important that we support it. And again, most people, we've talked about this before, but most people think, isn't it supported through patient services and those types of things? And the answer is yes, that it is, but rural hospitals by definition really have to keep growing and expanding services. And the ones that don't go away. And the way for rural hospitals to expand services is through foundation and grants and donations and those types of things. So without those gifts that the community bestows upon the foundation, it makes it a very challenging situation for rural hospitals everywhere.
Well, why is that? I mean, folks probably, they have to go to, maybe they have to go to the emergency room, or they have to go to, it's not prompt care, but the walk-in clinic or something, and they see their bill. And it's way more than they maybe anticipated, or they just have to pay a lot of money, and they sit there and think, well, where does that money go? And the hospital's sitting on a lot of reserves right now. And, Paul tells us all the time, things are good financially. Why should I consider giving to the foundation when they've got all this money they're sitting on?
Yeah. So, and things are, we're Paul's done a great job as CEO of the hospital here. And the hospital is certainly on good financial footing. That wasn't always the case, as most people know locally, and we want to make sure that that's not always the case. In terms of my gosh, I got a bill and it was I can't believe it's so expensive. That certainly is true of every situation. But our medical staff, we don't just call them in when someone comes into the emergency room. They're here all the time. We have hospital rooms, hospital beds, services that have to be available at the drop of a hat. And unfortunately, those medical costs are probably the most, other than housing, and some other major necessities are one of the most expensive items in people's lives.
Right.
So
Sure.
I get it. We do understand, but it is so critical, and it's not obviously the Clinton is not expensive. Because it's the same cost everywhere, virtually. Great local service. We feel like we save people money, that they don't have to drive out of town. We have specialty services here at Warner Hospital, and it's truly an asset to Clinton. I can tell you from the economic side of things, I have potential businesses asking me about, what kind of medical facilities, what kind of hospitals do you have locally?
Really?
And that is a selling tool to attract other business and industry.
Interesting,
for sure.
interesting stuff. Well, let's talk a little bit about the foundation fundraising efforts and where those dollars are, whether they're being saved for, whether they're being targeted for. What's kind of on the radar, if you will, of what the hospital is targeting for those dollars?
Yeah. So every year around this time, as we plan for our letter writing campaign at the end of the year, the hospital administrative staff puts together some upcoming needs, and we sort of announce those at the end of the year. So they're formulating those for right now. But we always fund. I can say this: we always fund scholarships for potential medical students to become medical in the medical field, and also current medical students. We always fund scholarships for those programs. And then we have our, hospital departments many times send in requests of items that they need. So we're regularly purchasing improved and needed hospital equipment to keep Warner Hospital state of the art in terms of medical areas. For sure.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. So when it comes to like the hospital need at the moment, I know they're going through like a lot of change in terms of adding a parking lot. They're adding an entryway to the I think that's the west side of the building. There's just a lot of things are happening. Have you been called upon to help out with any of that? What's the foundation's role in some of these things?
So in a lot of those projects, it's it's looking for potential grants and seeing what's out there in terms of state or federal dollars. And so many times we have not, from a foundational perspective, because we're not at this point, we're not a huge dollar foundation. The request items have been more geared towards scholarship and equipment. That being said, as the hospital looks to expand its footprint in the years ahead, there will likely be a bigger call in that regard.
I see. Very good. Very good. Curt, I've got about 2 minutes with you here, my friend. Let's recap or revisit, I guess, the Warner Hospital Foundation golf outing in a few weeks. How about that?
Absolutely love to. So I'd love to see everybody out there. There's still space available. We certainly, it's a great way for folks to sponsor, whether on an individual basis or whether a business basis. Great time to come out and network with some other folks and really just have a good time and play golf and support a local asset. But again, that is Friday, September 8th at the Clinton Country Club. Lunch at 11:30 to 12:30. Shotgun start at 12:30. Cost on that is $90 a person, minus $15 if you provide your own cart. Or $350 for a foursome, minus $60 if you provide 2 carts for your team.
Sure.
And we have sponsorship levels anywhere from $150 to $2,500 and up. And it's a great way to support a local important business and a hospital that does some really good things in the community.
Very good. Very good, Curt. Well, again, where do folks go to register for that?
Reach out to me, 217-377-3174. Go to the Warner Foundation Facebook page, and you'll see all of the information there. Make sure you reach out by September 1st. Reach out as quickly as possible. I mean, that's the best way to do it. Make plans for that now. But go to our Facebook page, and that's the best place to start.
And you mentioned some events coming up. The Glow Bingo, obviously, in the spring. You may have a movie event later in the fall. Where do folks go to keep track of, as those details come out?
Follow the Facebook page, because that is where we put the foundation, Warner Hospital Foundation Facebook page. That's where we put most of our event information. Actually, we put all of our event information.
Sounds great. Very good. Curt, it's always good to talk to you. Thanks for making
Good to
time.
see you.
Yeah,
All right,
absolutely.
thank you.
Curt Homann is the executive director of the Warner Hospital Foundation, our guest in studio here this morning. The morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. We continue on. The morning show. Network news comes your way next here on WHOW.
WHOW.
With SRN News,